What's going on, people? We are Tottenham TV, and we've got some brand new content to bring to you today. We're going to be reacting to some of your best comments on YouTube over the past, week or so. Some golden ones in there, obviously, in that time. This has come off. Oh, yeah. Had a haircut, and there's been some golden comments about these, so let's get into them.
Yeah, obviously you guys take up all your time, not all your time, but a lot of your time responding to us, making comments, and we thought we'd react to them. A lot of people always sometimes I see in the comments section people saying, do you read the comments? You never react to the comments. So we thought we'd do a video reacting to them. So yeah, what's the first one? First one.
Eric Ben Haag. You know what? This one was actually one of my favourite ones about my hair that I saw. I thought it was absolutely brilliant. Absolutely brilliant.
I don't know how to do it. Well, look, to be fair, we'd have a couple of trophies if you're up to that level.
Yeah, well, and if I was the manager of the team.
Exactly. Eric Ben Haag, absolutely loved that. Absolutely loved that. I rate that a lot. What's the next one? Daniel Levy has joined up with WeAreTottenham TV. Mad signing. Can't believe we got him through the door. Don't know how we managed. And
all
that.
I'm going to deliver for you is Timo Werner and Marcus Edwards. That's all I'm going to deliver for you guys.
How does it feel everyone wanting you out all the time?
Oh, well. I said I better hide under this desk from Brian Daigle if he's coming down.
Brian was not happy with the haircut. No, I'm joking. He was very supportive. All right, let's go to another comment. This one says, YouTube AI summary of all Spurs fans' comments on any topic. Levy out, get rid of everyone, in brackets, rip up contracts, magically sell up dud signings for mega bucks, buy anyone as long as they're over 100 million, money no object, and at the same time buy hidden gems, again at any price, stick youngsters in the team, blame Levy for shit transfers or selection decisions, credit anyone but Levy for good transfers. No need to read any comments, you're welcome.
I think that's just a load of rubbish.
He summed it up. He doesn't need to listen to us.
Absolute load of tosh, that, I'm telling you. First of all, I've even seen people like Brian Daigle give Daniel Levy credit, particularly for last transfer window last summer. We wouldn't have to complain, and we wouldn't have to go over the top if things were going well in that kind of sense at the club. And yeah, maybe it has taken an uptick in recent years, but this club has been a mess for the last 5 years. That's just the reality. And you didn't hear anyone complaining when we're in peak Pochettino years. So,
but you're right. Are we demanding too much?
No, we're not demanding too much.
Every player needs to be sold for mega bucks. Every player needs to be bought in for big money. Plus, we need to sign hidden gems. Plus, we need to put youngsters in the team.
I don't think any of that is true.
You don't think any of that is true?
No.
We don't want to sign players for a lot of money?
Not every player has to come in for mega money.
Not every player, but you do want players for big money.
Yeah, but not every player.
For the team.
Yeah.
We do want to sell all our...
yeah, but what you're saying is just at the very low level of what he's saying. He's saying everything to the extreme, which is not true.
This is an AI summary.
Which isn't true.
Also not true. No, fair enough. You're probably spot on about that. What's the next one? Ben went through the 5 stages of hair loss: denial, anger, depression, acceptance, shaving your head. Looks good. Look, 58 likes. Look at that. People agree with you. The 5 stages. It's what Spurs does to you.
I definitely went through denial. I don't know if I went through the anger stage, but I definitely probably went through all the other stages. Acceptance is definitely where I'm at right now, though. That's for sure.
You probably go. The anger stage was reserved for Spurs.
Exactly. Maybe I took the anger out of my hair onto Daniel Levy and the club.
K Digger 253 says, I'll never understand this channel's constant negativity towards Timo. He's a loan signing to provide cover, which he does very well and is already better than our options here. He costs nothing but wages and leaves budget for the other necessary signings. No brainer and absolutely not worth all the salt.
Listen, when you're trying to take this club onto the next level, stop making excuses, alibis for these kind of signings. We need to take this club onto the next level.
Crime has been committed.
Exactly. Stop giving alibis like Conte said. 20 years under this ownership. And no one's been successful. And why? Why? You're going to blame every manager? You're going to blame every signing? Well, yeah, I am. Plus the ownership.
Look, I'm... as I said, in terms of Timo, I think some fans understandably frustrated with the deal. I think also it's fair for some fans to say, yeah, he actually is not a bad player, and as a loan signing, as a backup, you could be looking at a lot worse. And for me, I'm going to reserve judgment for what the rest of the window has in store for us. If it's going to be similar signings to Timo and cheap deals, if it's a sign of things to come, essentially, then I am going to hold that against the club. But right now, I'm waiting to see what the rest of the window has in
all
store.
I ever hear is about whenever we make these signings. All I ever hear from the people that are for it was like, well, you know what? These signings aren't bad for the money. It's not bad for the money. Well, of course, it's not bad for the money. If you keep shopping in Bargain Bucket Aldi sales, this is what you're going to get. We need to be aiming our sights higher than, oh, it's not bad for the money. He ticks a few boxes. Why not? He's going to be a backup. Well, stop buying backups and buy players that can compete.
It's true. I remember, to be fair, I remember, what was it, when we signed Longley? A lot. I mean, even we were maybe there as well, but a lot of excuses were being made. He's a year, we'll sign someone next year. He's good, he's a loan deal, all these kind of things. And he turned out to be rubbish, you know what I mean? And I know we know what Werner is, but sometimes too many excuses can be made. But we'll have to wait and see what the rest of the window has.
Yeah.
All right, what are the other comments? A triple. Stephen Clark 4266 and Dr. Evil. There we go. What did he used to say? I can't remember what he used to say, Dr. Evil. He used to say something. Yeah, 1 million.
What about Daniel Levy or Dr. Evil? Pretty much the same people at this point.
Paul Stevens 113 says Uncle Fester. God, brutal.
Lord Voldemort.
Zizu 1300 says Lord Voldemort. Come on.
Which one out of those three do you reckon do I look like the most?
Well, out of the three, you kind of look a bit like Ralph Fiennes. But the only thing is Lord Voldemort doesn't have a nose, does he? So I don't think we can say Lord Voldemort. But Ralph Fiennes, I can actually see the resemblance. So if you add a nose to Lord Voldemort, I'll say him.
What's the resemblance?
You and Ralph Fiennes?
Yeah.
I don't know, you just have a very similar kind of shaped face. It's hard to describe. I don't know if you know who Ralph Fiennes is.
Does that mean you look like him as well?
Yeah, I guess so. Maybe a bit. I mean, he's not a bad-looking guy.
Is he a good-looking guy?
Do you know who Ralph Fiennes is? I'm trying to think of a film you would know that he's in. Obviously, he's in Harry Potter, but he's in makeup in that. He's a very famous actor.
Ralph Fiennes.
Yeah, him.
I don't think I look anything like him.
No, it's like a resemblance of the shape of the face. It's like a kind
Him?
of... Yeah, him, yeah.
You're saying I look like him?
I'm not saying you look like him. I'm saying there's a resemblance, like in terms of the shape of the face.
Okay, if you say so. Let us know in the comment section below. Do I look like Ralph Fiennes?
Well, in terms of the others, I don't think you look like Mike Myers. I don't know who plays Uncle Fester.
Yeah. Yeah, but we're not talking about the specific actors. It's what they're dressed up as and how they look in the films. That's what we're talking about.
So Dr. Evil has a nose, so I guess we'll have to go with him. Next one is Meshvonia 4745. He says, this is about Timo. He says, I'm not happy about this at all. I see lots of good backup comments, but is it really what we want? We need to ditch the small club mentality. We went into on a City page, and I think I never saw the word backup because that's how they think. That's not how they think. Son isn't getting any younger, and we need to get his heir sorted. If our front three wasn't good enough last season, why are we not upgrading? I also don't like the signals it sends to other players in our team. Timo basically did nothing and doesn't fit the system, and he's going to be one of the highest paid earners. Does that seem like something we'd pay for a backup, by the way? Can't even argue that we're not just settling for and rewarding mediocrity now. If Son and Werner are playing left wing and we get a good right wing and a striker, it makes it less bad, but still not good enough. The fact that we're not even signing permanently makes me think we're not even convinced either. It just means we don't want to show ambition and spend big money. Highest ticket price in Europe, only to settle for mediocrity.
100% spot on, that comment. 100% spot on. You look at Arsenal, they had Martinelli absolutely smashing it out. They sign Trossard. Trossard, Martinelli has an off season, which means Trossard can come in, and he absolutely smashed it this season, helping Arsenal in the last stage, becoming quite a clutch player for them. You look at Man City, they had Grealish absolutely smashing it out, winning the treble. They bring in a Jeremy Doku. You look at Aston Villa, they had Leon Bailey, who didn't really quite do it, and then they bring in Moussa Diaby, which raised the level of Leon Bailey. I mean, it happens all over the Premier League, but we have to settle for players that are just coming in as backups.
Yeah, I think he makes a lot of good points, and I think he's put it in a way where he's not like saying Levy out all these things, but he's put it in a very like constructive way. Like, why are we signing players? Like, first of all, he makes a really good point about only signing him on loan, because we've had a look at him for 6 months. He's available for a very cheap fee, right? If we really believed this guy is a good player for us and could really help us, we could have easily signed him permanently. Yet we're not signing him permanently, which is true, which is right, which gives the impression that we don't truly believe in what he's all about, and we're not convinced by him. So why are we signing him again if we're not convinced by him? I think that's a good point, and I think that's a point that Ange and Levy will have to be accountable for, and all this stuff like we're signing backups. He's absolutely right. Son isn't getting any younger, and we've got to look to the future. Obviously, Werner's not going to be taking over from Son anytime soon once Son goes, and we need to be looking at players who will. Now, you could argue we can do that in a year's time, but I don't see the reason to wait.
But we were told, Ange was saying that he wants to go and challenge for the title next year. Challenging for the title is not going and buying backups that will come in and do what we saw last season. And yeah, he might have filled a role and done a job, but he didn't excel in his role. He just about did a job.
All right, what are these other comments saying? What's that?
Thank you, Sean Dyche, for joining We Are Tottenham TV.
Dyche,
I need to get that croaky voice down to a T.
And the ginger facial hair.
Great to see Pep in the studio.
The hate man. I can't read the hate man's back or something. Patrick says, "Great to see Pep in the studio."
I can go for the Pep one.
Pep. The tiki taka, and then I can't read who says.
Is that Arnie Slot?
Is Arnie Slot?
La 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 la.
There we go. Next one is from RFS 1899. They say, completely underwhelmed with this. Not really a statement signing at all, and one, it is not going to take us to the next level. Plus 170k a week. Complete waste of money for a squad player. I think this is going to be disappointing transfer window, lads. No confidence at all. I really hope. I mean, he's kind of expressing something you've kind of expressed in terms of going into this window. There was a lot of excitement, but it seems as though a lot of fans are, losing a lot of confidence in where this window is going to end up.
Yeah, because I felt like going into this window, on the back of the window we had last year, which I thought was a really good step in the right direction. I know it hasn't opened yet, so maybe it is a bit over the top and a bit hyperbolic, but I feel like getting Timo Werner and then all this news about Marcus Edwards, whether it's true or not, it just leaves you feeling like a bit like, oh God, what are we in for this summer? But hopefully we can go from strength to strength. Hopefully bigger and better targets will come in. You just got to believe, don't you, that if you're going to sign Timo Werner on loan, then a big signing is just around the corner.
Yeah, I really hope by the end of the day we're all going to be happy, but we'll see. What's the next one is from Wagwan Benny D. What a name. That's kind of like a name you might have used in an email back when you were in primary school. Yes, Ben, sneak into Levy's office. They wouldn't tell the difference.
Yeah, maybe I should have signed off some checks, exactly. Man. That's what I should definitely do. I'm going into Hotspur Way tomorrow. I'm going to give it a go. Like, I'm going to be the saviour of Tottenham. I'm going to bring in a Nico Williams. I'm going to bring in a Dusan Vlahovic, a Benjamin Sesko. I'm going to do it all.
If you could get into the negotiation room as well, instead of him saying no to the extra million, you go, yeah, go on. Yeah, extra million, put it in there, sign on dotted line.
I'm going to do it, guys, don't worry.
Michael Jordan 1988 says, I think this was under our Ange stats video. He says, here's some interesting stats under Ange. According to a recent report in May from the CIS, here's some research in a research institute under FIFA. Sonny was ranked first amongst attacking players, wingers and strikers in all 30 leagues around the world on the following index. The distance attacking players ran over 25 kilometers in defensive phases, and the number of pressures on opponents without physical or ball contact. Richarlison also ranked 5th and 2nd in the big top 5 leagues in Europe. We've got two freaking attackers ranked 1st and 2nd in Europe, running all over the ground for 90 minutes. No wonder why Sonny looks burnt out towards the end of the season, and Rishi never gets out of his injuries. First of all, I think that's a testament to their work rate, which I think doesn't get enough credit when we're talking about them. And in terms of how Sonny plays at striker, a lot is made out of he can't hold up the ball and all that stuff, but no one talks about how good he is and those kind of things, which I think is a good point. But do you think is right in saying the work where we forced him to do was causing them burnout at the end of the season? I don't know. It's an interesting theory.
I mean, he might have had a case if we played like crazy amount of games of football. We literally had like a record low number of games this season. Surely they'll be able to run for 90 minutes at the level that they're doing if you're playing like a minimal amount of games. Like they're fit professionals, you know what I mean? It's not like it's me and you trying to do it. This is fit professionals. They should be able to run for 90 minutes.
I do wonder what value kind of Ange puts on that kind of stuff, and then if, for a new striker coming in, are they going to have to be able to kind of match that kind of output when it comes to defensive?
I think so.
But they're the 1st and 2nd in the world. So it's going to be that's difficult to replicate unless...
Look, I think Ange values this very highly. They don't need to be the 1st or the 2nd in the world in it, but they need to be very high up in not just those facets, but a lot of different facets as well. I don't think it's all about that, but they need to have end product. And I think for the most part, both of them have had that this season as well.
Yeah, 100%. Eric Furseth in 1775 says, is Timo himself a great signing? No, probably not the caliber we want. Gives us better depth, a weapon off the bench with pace, allows other players to rest without a significant drop-off, will probably be useful as a starting player in the early rounds of the Europa League, and pair him with a quality striker will likely be up there with top assists. What is great is the deal proposed. No obligation to buy as a massive and significantly reduced buy clause. If he has the same season as last year, fine, send him back. But if he finishes literally 20% of his chances he had last year, he'll be a great signing.
Ifs, buts, maybes, always with Timo Werner. People have been asking this question about Timo Werner ever since that 30-goal season at Leipzig 5 years ago. He went to Chelsea, couldn't seem to do it. Gone back to Leipzig, couldn't seem to do it. Came to Tottenham last year. We all gave him the benefit of the doubt and said, oh, if he starts showing that early Leipzig form, we've got a great player. Probably at the end of this season, he'll get a few more goal contributions that he got last season. We'll take him on loan again next season. We'll be like, maybe this is the year Timo can finally finish his chances.
But what if, like, this season, right, we can kind of rest Sonny in Europa League, Werner does the job in the Europa League. We start him, and he gets good amount of goals and assists in the group stage, gets us through the group stage in Europa League, keeps Sonny fresh for the Prem, and Sonny's kind of smashing out in the Prem. Would that not be him doing his job?
Yeah, but the key thing you said there is if he's scoring goals.
In Europa League, yeah. No, not goals, but he's getting assists, he's getting goal contributions in Europa League, which isn't that far-fetched to suggest he could do that.
I don't know. I don't know. I'd rather give those minutes to someone like Mikey Moore, to be honest, if they think he's potentially on the cusp of being ready. In terms of, like I said, we need players on that side, whether it be someone to come in to replace Heung-min Son where the quality doesn't drop off that much. And I feel like the quality from Son to Werner is a humongous drop-off. It's not even just a slight drop-off, it's a humongous drop-off. And we need players, like all the top teams have, that can come in and have a similar amount of quality. And we don't have that.
Yeah, I think that's probably right. Dao Yong King says, absolutely not a good signing. He couldn't hit a barn door. We don't have the luxury of having a player like that, and especially for 170 grand a week. Does he start for a team above us who are looking to get closer to overtake? No. Awful signing, lack of ambition, which is nothing new, unfortunately.
Yep.
I think in terms of that point, does he start for a team above us? No, but he's obviously not going to be starting for us either. Hopefully, anyway, that's not the plan. But I guess the question would be, would a team above us sign him, even as a squad player?
No.
I mean, he was obviously interested in Man United wanted him, but
Man United are not exactly.
They're below us. I'm trying to think of teams of our City wouldn't want him, Arsenal wouldn't want him, Liverpool wouldn't want him.
West Ham wouldn't want him.
West Ham, they'd want him as backup. I think they'll take him.
I think they'd prefer to go for someone else, to be honest.
I reckon West Ham might take him as backup. Who was it? Villa?
No.
Would Villa take him? Probably not. Newcastle probably wouldn't. But we would.
Exactly.
Here we are.
And that is where we're at. That is where we're at, people. Timo Werner, like, you got to remember, we are one injury away from him being our starting left winger now. One injury away. And for argument's sake, like, Sonny started the majority of games this year as striker, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if he goes back to striker, he is our starting left winger.
Yeah, but you could argue if he got the same kind of output per minutes per goal contribution he did last year, it wouldn't be that bad.
What would he have?
We had 5 goal contributions in 13 games.
So he got 2 goals. So what if he plays double the amount of minutes, he'll get 4 goals.
He got 2 goals, 3 assists.
So,
but in terms of minutes wise,
so if he gets double the amount of minutes, let's say, he'll get 4 goals and 6 assists.
Yeah.
What, you think that's good?
That depends how many minutes we're talking, because he didn't play. I'm trying to look at how many minutes, because he didn't play that many 90 minutes, I don't think. So I think minutes wise, let's see how many he played. He played 900 minutes.
900 minutes.
So
do the maths then.
Yeah. 900. It's basically a goal every 100, a goal or assist for every 180 minutes. So 1 every 2 games. That's what it is. He gets a goal contribution every other game, which is not a bad ratio.
It just doesn't fill you. I mean, in terms of that as a a number, it's not too bad. But when you're looking at what he actually produces on the football pitch, it's not exactly spectacular, is it? It doesn't say, all right, we got Timo Werner here. If Sonny gets injured, we're completely all right.
But I'm saying that in terms of data-wise, he's going to get you a goal contribution every other game. So it's not like you're completely screwed.
I guess you're delighted with Timo Werner signing then.
I'm not delighted. I'm just saying it's not the worst signing in the world.
It's not the best signing in the world, and it's not very close to the best signing in the world.
It's not the best signing.
This is what we're always saying, though. This is what we always say. Oh, it's not the worst signing in the world.
You're worried if Sonny gets injured, we have to play Timo. I'm saying if we have to play him, that's a goal contribution every other game. So it's not like.
Do you take out what was Sonny's goal ratio?
Sonny.
Yeah.
Have to get it up. I know he got 24 goal contributions.
Yeah.
I don't know in the amount of minutes.
In 2,967 minutes in all competitions.
2,967. He got how many goal contributions?
27.
So that's a 1 every 109 minutes.
109 minutes.
So just over 1 a game. Just a tiny bit over.
Yeah, so yeah, you guys have proved me wrong. The drop off is not so big with Timo Werner to Son.
We know Son's a lot better than Werner. I'm just saying you're going from 1 pretty much every game to 1 every other game, but it's not like you're not talking about going from 1 a game to 1 every 5 games.
But it could easily be.
Maybe. All right, what's the last one? Jack 1906 says. Talking about Evan Nilsson, he says Evan Nilsson scored 13 league goals in 29 games last season, 4 goals in the Champions League, all scored against Antwerp. His 8 goals in the Portuguese Cup were against weakened 2nd and 3rd division opposition. Surprised when I heard Spurs were going for him rather than Gyökeres and Simon Banza, who were huge stories in Portugal this year. 2 top quality strikers battling out for top goal scorer. Looks like Marseille are going to snap at Banza, who got 21 goals for a cheap 20 million euros. So this, I think he's a fan of the Portuguese league, and he's surprised that Tottenham would go for Evan Nilsson rather than one of the others. Yeah,
I've actually been following this Banza this season. He's been smashing in the goals, to be honest, for Braga. He seems to be getting a goal contribution every single week by the looks of it in a team that have done fairly well this season. But I think Evan Nilsson himself has, I think all three of the strikers he's talked about have had good seasons, but I think Evan Nilsson probably is third on that list in terms of productivity and output. Gyökeres obviously is just been a monster this season, hasn't he? And I think that he's out of our price range and out of our league, to be honest, with the prices that we're playing.
He's accusing Evan Nilsson of being a stat padder, only scores against the lower teams. He's accusing him of.
That's what people say about Brennan Johnson and Timo Werner.
Fit right in then.
Exactly.
I think that's it.
Is that it?
Yeah, those are the comments.
All right. Well, those are the comments. If you like this kind of content and want us to produce this as a regular segment, let us know in the comment section below. But thank you for all your comments and all your input in the channel for over the years. But thank you. Like, subscribe, and comment. And as always, come on, you Spurs.